Hey, look at this great hayfield here. One of the things I really like to do, particularly when hay is first cut, is just to come with the binoculars and particularly early in the morning and scan the field, because a lot of raptors love to sit on the bales and get after the exposed moles and mice and things. So it's a great idea, a great thing to do. Obviously, you always get permission to be able to do that. But we're just out here, just outside of Carp, and we're looking at this thing, and I see there's a big nest over there on the hydro tower. Unfortunately, I haven't got the lens to be able to get over there. Last year there was ospreys in there, but this year there seems to be something different in there. But okay, bring your binoculars. I always have binoculars with me in the car or truck, and just scan the field and see what you can see. And you never know what's out there when you get the binoculars on. Anyway, great thing to do. We're gonna head home. We got a great big feeder that we're gonna fly-through feeder that we want to clean. We want to talk about not spreading any viruses and stuff in your feeders. I got a bird bath that I want to get cleaned up. So let's head out and get that job done. And we'll talk to you soon. Stay tuned. Okay, here we go. We're gonna get this bad boy cleaned up and get it ready so we're not creating any disease and things in our feeders. We start really in our business and our habits here, and I've always done that. That we start with our seed product and the way it's handled and the way it's packaged. So I want to know for sure where it comes from and what it's like. So our seed is definitely that way. We're only using the highest ingredients possible. Corn and peanuts can be very, very toxic if they're not handled properly and or packaged properly. So we start with that, and then we start with keeping our feeders clean. I showed you how kind of soiled this was. I've had this in my shed now since early spring, and I kind of taken it down and put it away for this purpose. And then we had some other things that kind of had taken our time, some flood and some things. But I got some rubber gloves to put on because I'm going to be using a little bit of bleach. We got some safety glasses to put on because I'm going to be using a little bit of bleach. Also have a couple of good scrapers here that I can knock the debris out of the bottom of the feeder. Now this fly-through, like a lot of our feeders, has a full mesh bottom so that the seed can aerate and go through. But as I showed you before, there is a lot of debris and leftover stuff in here. But the big thing, particularly with fly-through feeders, is the fact that there's feces in there. Particularly mourning doves, I find. They just kind of hang out and do their work and what have you in there ongoing. All birds do for that matter, but it just seems the mourning doves kind of rest in there. I don't know, do you ever find that? I sure do anyway. So we're going to go ahead. I also got a brush here that I'm going to give it a good scrub. I got a bucket of hot water that I'm going to put a little bit of bleach in. You don't want to use very much. I'm going to do like a cap full to, a quarter of a 5-gallon pail. Just enough to sort of kill any bacteria and stuff that may be in the wood. This is cedar, so it's a little bit porous, so it holds a little bit of stuff. So we'll go ahead and get some of the stuff out of the corners here, and then we'll be able to get started and get it cleaned up properly. I find this tool here, this is kind of something that's used kind of for drywall and that kind of stuff, but it's got a really good hook here that you can get right down into the corners and get all the stuff right out of there. So you can see here some of the chunks and things that have come out of there, so there's lots of stuff down in there. I'm going to go ahead and give it a blast out with my hose, and then we'll get some bleach and some hot water on. Well, I already added the bleach, so I'm just going to go ahead and get the gloves on, give it a good scrub, clean it all up, and then we'll bring the bird bath over and we'll do the same thing with it. Got this old shirt on and a pair of old work jeans and stuff because I got the bleach, so you want to make sure you cover up your skin and so there's none of that. Plus you don't want all that stuff all over your hands as well. I find we sometimes get busy and we forget to do what we're supposed to do. Doesn't make the top look pretty, don't you think? Louise will like that. Oh yeah, a little bit of bleach just shines things right up. You want to make sure you get it on that wood too, so you can kill any debris and anything on the inside of the tray or the sidewalls of any other type of feeder or whatever. There's mold and mildew and that kind of stuff on there, so this is good hot water too. Looks great here. Nice to hear that. That's a red-breasted nuthatch there. They do that all the time. A lot of fledglings of those guys around too, actually. Okay. Now the next thing, obviously, if you're using a little bit of bleach in there, you want to make sure that it's rinsed well also. So, huge difference. Huge difference on the underside of how the feeder looks. How clean it is in there now. We can see if we can get inside there a little bit. Right inside, see how clean it is. Now see the dark spot there on the panel. Right here, sort of. That's the mounting plate that's on the bottom so that I can mount this on a pole. So that mounting plate there is held with 2 screws here and 2 screws here. You can also disconnect that mounting plate and get that mesh cleaned underneath there, and I've done that before, and I kind of just examined this one here, and it's cleaned up really nice, because it's something that I keep doing on a regular basis, is I keep the feeders and stuff clean. Kind of do this like probably 2-3 times a year, spring and fall for sure, and maybe once in the middle of the summer. And if you can start out in the fall really clean, then it'll lessen the effects of possible contamination and disease that the birds are getting. And the type of disease that's, as with all animals, is it's transferred through either feces or saliva and the multiple use of a variety of different birds. So once the virus or the bacteria is in your feeder or in your bird bath or wherever, then it's transferred from one bird to the other. So we want to try to eliminate that as much as possible. So I'm just going to walk over here and get that bird bath, and then we're going to give it a little scrub and clean out as well. Oh, this thing's concrete, weighs a ton. But you can see that it's kind of, there's a little bit slimy along the edge here. A little bit of mold. I've cleaned this a couple times a week, but it doesn't take very long, particularly in this heat. We've had some extreme heat here in Eastern Ontario over the last week or two, and it's going to continue on for the next week or two based on the forecast. So you got to make sure that that gets really clean. I'm going to give it a blast out with the hose, give it a shot with some bleach and some good hot water, and then we'll see the difference. It's pretty slimy, so I'm thinking I'm going to give this just a little dribble in there like that, just to add some little extra strength. You notice it was very level. One of the things that I really caution people about is, yes, you want things clean, but use what you're using as a cleaning product very sparingly, particularly if it's not a very good quality plastic that you're cleaning, like a hummingbird feeder or something, because that soft plastic and or a porous material will absorb some of the odors or even a taste of what you're using for a cleaning product. So we don't like to use very much. Any cracks or crevices or little corners of your brush won't get in, give it a little scrape. That's why I like this little tool. That way, if there's any mold or any debris in any of those areas, you can kind of get it loosened up, and then your hose and or your brush then will get it cleaned out. There. A lot of grime in there. I know you probably can't see it, but the water is pretty dark, pretty well black in there, just from scrubbing down the walls and what have you. This bird bath's pretty old, probably about 15-20 years old. Made of solid concrete. It was a bit porous, so you want to make sure you get it clean, but look at the difference there now. That slime colored, that residue of mold and slime that was around the outside is gone, and we've cleaned it well up. You can tell right away when as soon as you start to scrub that the water just turns dark right away, so you know you're getting a lot of stuff removed. So super important, keep things cleaned up. You don't want to transfer any more disease. The birds are under as much pressure as possible. You may want to check out a couple of our topics that we've been talking about on our Facebook page, the Gilly Galoo Birds Facebook page, about the decline in bird numbers due to climate change, habitat loss, pesticide use, herbicide use, monocultures like large spans of grass as opposed to diverse cultures like we have over here in our wild patch. So get outside, have some fun, keep your feeders filled, enjoy nature, be a part of nature, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.